Hello my dear YouTuber friends, and I hope you're all keeping well. My goodness, look at that. Welcome to this new video. This is Flight Sim 2024, again flying around London. Am I seeing more detail with Flight Sim 2024 than I could with Flight Sim 2020? Well, let's see in this video. I'm going to give you a tour of London in Flight Sim 2024. Gonna try and do some kind of comparison side by side with Flight Sim 2020. At the end of the video, I'll come back and give you my own thoughts and impressions of which London is greater, Flight Sim 2020 or Flight Sim 2024. Okay, let's not dilly-dally. Let's get on with this video. Okay, so I'm set up in the Cessna 172 at Haddison International, London City Airport. Now, interesting, this is the Flight Sim 2020 module, London City version 2 by Orbix. A lot of the terminals are missing on this side. This side of the Thames looks fine, like it does in Flight Sim 2020. This side you can see a lot's missing in the distance there. So it doesn't seem like it's compatible, so ignore what's going on there. Shall I just quickly show you what settings I'm running? So settings, you know, 1080p at the moment, TAA. If I go to custom, I've got it on high, essentially high preset with a couple of things changed. Excuse me. So as you can see, high. Let's just see, ray trace shadows on it as well. What did I turn off? I turned off displacement. There you go. I turned this off, displacement mapping, just to ensure that we don't get any relief stuff going on. So it should just be spawning in stuff, I believe, as we fly over it. Let's throttle up, release the parking brake, and get in the cockpit. Be a better thing to do, wouldn't it? So ignore the airport, or the lack of the airport on the left. I've got AI traffic on. We might get an airliner flying through us. We may not, we may be lucky. So I'll just get up to speed here. Any time now, it's wanting to take off now, which is absolutely fine. I do like these new physics, the new improved physics in Flight Sim. Oh, one thing I was meant to do. I can do it now. You may get a bit of pausage while I do this. Just put on a few clouds just to get a bit of cloud coverage. There we go. Oh, there we go. We escaped the airliner. Just going to fly in manual mode for now. Oh, shut up. I forgot to turn those sounds down at all as well. The warning sounds. Not a big fan of them when I'm doing this kind of video anyway. So there we go. Now, I do believe London City Landmarks Pack is being streamed in. I'm seeing some of the features, well, all the features from the London City Landmarks Pack. So I do believe if you bought that off on the marketplace and you have it installed in Flight Sim 2020 prior to launch in Flight Sim 2024, they should be streamed in. What is that searchlight? Do I remember that in Flight Sim 2020? Is that there in London? I don't remember. The cranes look a lot better here. Can be a bit jittery across that specific part there. Not quite sure what's going on. Never mind. There you go, lots of craneage going on there. Oops, let's unpause. Try and stay external so we get in the view of London. There we go, so London City Landmarks. A lot of these buildings were added with London City Landmarks Pack. You've got, I mean, some of them will be there by default as well, of course. But it just fills out the financial district area. So all the usual suspects seem to be there, I believe. I do remember one or two more though. Interesting. Okay, let's fly around this way. We'll get down to downtown London. I am seeing one or two more details. When we get to the centre of London, you'll see that. I believe... So I've got that displacement setting turned off, so we're not getting sort of anything less, shall we say, than what's around us, if that makes sense. So we'll fly over this part. And we're just taking a look. Remember now, this is Flight Sim 2024, of course. Well, you know that from the title of the video, hopefully. Shut up! Oh dear me. I've really got to turn those sounds down or off. Maybe down. So there we go. Flying over the main part of London. Now, one thing you'll notice. Let's get nearer to it. Tower Bridge here. You remember with Flight Sim 2020, and I still think it's the same. Shut up! You've not got that sort of greenage or brownage under the tower, under the bridges now, and that seems to go for all bridges that I've come across. You don't get, oh, let's use my mouse. You don't get that strange brownage going on there, or greenage, green stuff, or whatever it was, going on underneath the bridges. Look at that. Now, that easily looks as good as Flight Sim 2020. With the new lighting and maybe texture details and details generally, you know, sort of ray trace shadows and goodness knows what. I'm believing this is looking better, only slightly, than Flight Sim 2020 version of London. This is looking like the Greater London version. Greater looking London version, rather. Am I seeing now a couple of additional buildings, or are the buildings just displayed differently in Flight Sim 2024? Look at that. Very nice reflections going on there with these specific buildings. Oh, that building's not fully rendered in. I think we've got one or two of those in Flight Sim 2020 as well. Let's just come up a little bit. Not the easiest thing to do to fly in external mode manually, but we're managing. Let's just pull back that throttle a little bit. What do you think? I've taken plenty of screenshots for my Discord, claiming I think this one looks actually a little bit better. Just going to fly over towards the London Eye as well. Let's just give it a bit of pausage in certain areas. Let's pause in certain areas, rather. I don't know, people. That's at least as good, which is great in my eyes. The recent Flight Sim 2020 version of London looks fantastic now. What's going on with this bridge down here? That's got a bit of... Oh no, it's okay. It just wasn't showing properly. Look at that. No complaints there. Now, is the draw distance greater in Flight Sim 2024? From this distance, can I see London City Airport? I'm a bit low there, but I can just see it in the distance there. From this far out, so we're at the landmarks downtown London. And I can still make out just about London City Airport. I don't remember that happening in Flight Sim 2020. So is the draw distance greater in Flight Sim 2024? I've got a feeling it might well be, you know. From my testings and just looking out and beyond. Can we see Heathrow? Not quite yet. Let's get towards the London Eye. Like I did in my Flight Sim 2020 video of flying over London, claiming it was the best looking London, I'm doing the same here. I'm pausing along certain areas. This one might take the biscuit, people. Might take the prize of being the greater looking London now. There's a bit of rendering still going on there. I am running a meaty download speed at the moment, about 600 megabits a second. There's Buckingham Palace coming up. I'll get into an appropriate position and pause. Now, the London Eye does move round the closer you get to it. It's a bit quick though. Is that moving round? Well, it was before, now it's not. Ah well. I think it does that in Flight Sim 2020 for some reason too. Let's just configure the aircraft. Yeah, it's not going round, never mind. But look at that. I don't know, for me, let's get a good camera. Oh, I might have to take another screenshot there. Might just have to be done. I've actually got one of my screenshots as my screensaver, on my desktop wallpaper rather, on my computer. No, I'll leave that. That's not quite the angle I wanted. I don't know, you let me know down in the comments which is looking like the greater looking London. Well, I'll tell you what, in fact, with that in mind, let me just get myself configured here. With that in mind, what I'll do, I'll take you to a side-by-side comparison now. Do a same flight path over London with Flight Sim 2020 and Flight Sim 2024. And we'll view them side by side. So there we go. I've done some kind of split screen comparison. I've tried to give you a nice effect with one half of the aircraft on one side and the other on the other side, of course. Flight Sim 2024 on the left, Flight Sim 2020 on the right. Same time of day, same clouds preset, few clouds, just to give that fair comparison. There you go, just to give you that effect. Now, in my views, the lighting's obviously better with Flight Sim 2024. The lighting effect on the buildings, generally the way the buildings look. But as I was going along, and try this for yourself in full screen, try them both, I do notice more popping. So as you're coming up to objects, especially on rivers, that type of thing, I'm noticing more popping effects with Flight Sim 2024, and I'm not noticing them as much with Flight Sim 2020. So there's a thing. Remember, it's an early build of Flight Sim 2024. We're in early days of it, so I'm sure that will improve over time. Another thing I've noticed now, I can see more detail on the further horizon with Flight Sim 2024. I think the jury's still out. I'm still playtesting them a lot just to see that. I believe I'm seeing more further detail. Further out you go with Flight Sim 2024. But if you look at your immediate surroundings and then just ahead of your immediate surroundings, they seem to be more prevalent in Flight Sim 2020. So if you look at your immediate surrounding and look a little bit further ahead, I believe you can see a little bit more further detail or finer detail with Flight Sim 2020. Flight Sim 2024 can seem a little bit blurred the further ahead you look. Again, keep in mind it's an early build. But look, you can see both on screen, and the best way to do this is play them both in full screen on your own systems to get your own preferences. And yeah, what I'll do, I'll let this continue for a little bit with some nice little music in the background. So there you go, my friends. That's my video on Flight Sim London in Flight Sim 2024. Which is the greater looking London? Flight Sim 2020 or Flight Sim 2024? They both look fantastic. I mean, honestly, the jury's still out. When I look just beyond where I'm flying here, look at the... I mean, I can see more, but there seems to be less detail the further out. Now, there might be a setting for that, so you can see the greater detail here. Good detail close up. As you go further out, I mean, it's similar in Flight Sim 2020. There just seems to be more detail from memory. I'm going to have to re-look at that. But if you go out a little bit further with Flight Sim 2020, that can make a difference, and that can make a difference to immersion. But when you're flying over like landmarks like this, and even looking out, I mean, that, you can't beat that, can you? I don't know, the jury's still out. I'm feeling this might just take the prize of being the greater looking London version. But there's other details I'm seeing that might be missing. I don't know. Okay, listen, let me know your own thoughts down below in the comments and give this a try yourself. Which to your eyes is the greater looking London? Remember, we're still on an early build of Flight Sim 2024. This can only improve, and I'm excited to see that. Give the video a like if you've enjoyed it, subscribe for more, and I'll see you soon.